I wonder what you want us to chat about. Okay, are we still friends?
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
So you see, it's all good, guys. Chill out.
Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka are fierce competitors on the court, but off the court, they're absolute comedy gold. From Sabalenka's ridiculous celebrations to Gauff's perfectly timed reactions, these two have given us moments that are way more entertaining than they probably intended. Some of their funniest incidents happened when they weren't even trying to be funny, which makes them even better. Which tennis player do you think has the better sense of humor? Coco Gauff or Aryna Sabalenka?
Thank you.
Let's start with Aryna Sabalenka because honestly, where do you even begin with this woman? She's a Grand Slam champion, one of the most powerful players in tennis, and also someone who celebrates like she just won a lottery every single time she wins a point. The sheer volume and intensity of her screams could probably be heard from space. Every single shot comes with a sound effect that makes you wonder if she's playing tennis or auditioning for a heavy metal band. Her grunt isn't a grunt. It's a full-blown battle cry that would intimidate anyone within a 3-mile radius. The best part about Sabalenka's screaming is that she seems completely unaware of how ridiculous it sounds. She's just out there giving 110% effort and letting everyone in the stadium know exactly how she feels about every single ball she hits. There was a match where the commentators had to basically apologize to viewers for how loud she was because the broadcast kept getting complaints. That's not normal. Most players are loud, but Sabalenka takes it to a level that borders on performance art. Then there's her celebrations. When Sabalenka wins a big point or a crucial game, she doesn't just pump her fist or give a little shout. No, she goes full theatrical. Arms spread wide, screaming at the sky like she's summoning ancient powers, stomping around the court like she just conquered a small nation. At the 2023 Australian Open, when she won her first Grand Slam, her celebration was so over the top that people genuinely wondered if she was okay or if she was having some kind of emotional breakdown. Turns out she was just really, really happy.
Does grunting help you hit the ball harder?
It just helps me with like this fighting spirit. Whenever like I grunt, I'm ready to get the point. I don't know why I started. I think there was like one girl in the group, in the older group, and I thought it's so cute the way she was grunting, but hers was actually cute. Mine was like just loud, but it's all about like how you feel. If you feel better with like, you know, letting it go, then go for it, because I think like there is like an extra power and energy in that. If you like feel like you're losing a lot of energy, then you shouldn't do it. It all depends like how you feel.
One of the funniest Sabalenka moments was during a press conference where she was asked about her screaming. The reporter tried to be diplomatic about it, asking if she was aware of how loud she gets during matches. Sabalenka's response was basically, "Yeah, I know. What are you going to do about it?" She wasn't apologetic or embarrassed. She owned it completely. She basically said that's how she plays. That's how she releases energy. And if people don't like it, they can watch a different match.
Hello everybody! It's going to be a fun video.
That level of confidence in being absolutely absurd is kind of admirable in a weird way. There was also the time Sabalenka was doing an interview and a bug flew near her face. Her reaction was pure panic. This woman who hits tennis balls at speeds that could injure someone, who screams loud enough to wake the dead, absolutely lost it over a tiny insect. She jumped back, waved her arms around frantically, and the interview had to pause while she collected herself. The contrast between her tough, aggressive on-court persona and her genuine terror at a bug was comedy gold. Fans made memes about it for weeks. Now let's talk about Coco Gauff, who brings a completely different kind of humor to tennis. While Sabalenka is loud and chaotic, Gauff is more about perfectly timed reactions and saying things that are unintentionally hilarious because of how honest they are.
You guys were laughing a little bit at 5-1 in that second set. Could you cue us into what was so funny?
Oh, I thought the match was over. I hit like a great return, and I like went for a hug, and Jess was like going away from me, and I was like, damn, like what did I do? And then I realized that the match wasn't over. She's like, what's the score? And I was like, oh, there was no game set match. So yeah, that was me, my mess up. We were playing so good, so I thought it was over.
She has this way of being completely straightforward that catches people off guard. She'll say things in interviews that most players would filter or sugarcoat, but she just puts it out there with a straight face.
Can we talk about the Miami Heat?
Yes, Heat in 7, and maybe Coco in 7.
One classic Gauff moment was when she was asked about playing in extreme heat during a tournament. Most players would give some diplomatic answer about staying hydrated and managing conditions. Gauff just said, "It's hot. I hate it. This is terrible." Her face while saying it was completely deadpan, like she couldn't believe she was expected to play tennis in what felt like the surface of the sun. The honesty was refreshing and funny because everyone watching was thinking the exact same thing, but she was the only one who actually said it.
Well, she sees the funny side of that. That's when you say, "Good eye, Coco." Well, she sees the funny side of that. That's when you say, "Good eye, Coco." Great lead. She tried.
Love 15.
That's a nice reaction.
Gauff also has this habit of making faces during matches that get caught on camera and turn into instant memes. There was a match where a call went against her that was clearly wrong, and her expression was just pure disbelief. Not angry, not argumentative, just this look of, "Are you kidding me right now?" That perfectly captured what everyone watching was thinking. Those kinds of reactions make her relatable because she's responding to situations the same way fans would if they were on the court.
Coco Gauff, nothing easy about that match. Describe what it was like to play it.
Slow.
There's also her relationship with social media, which has produced some genuinely funny moments. Gauff is active on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, and she's not afraid to poke fun at herself. After she lost a match where she served particularly badly, she posted a video making fun of her own serving struggles with a caption about how she needed to practice more. Most professional athletes wouldn't acknowledge their weaknesses so publicly or make jokes about them. But Gauff doesn't take herself too seriously, even though she's one of the best players in the world. One of the funniest interactions between Gauff and Sabalenka actually happened on social media. Sabalenka posted a photo of herself looking intense and fierce during a match, trying to project this intimidating champion energy. Gauff commented something along the lines of, "Why do you look like you're about to fight someone in a parking lot?" It was such a random but accurate observation that even Sabalenka had to laugh about it. The fact that these two can compete fiercely on court and then joke around online shows they have a mutual respect and sense of humor about the rivalry. During the 2023 US Open, there was a moment in the final where Gauff won a point with a shot that surprised even her. Her reaction was immediate shock, looking at her racket like it had betrayed her by accidentally doing something good. That split second of confusion before she realized she should be celebrating was hilarious. It's rare to see professional athletes look genuinely surprised by their own success, but Gauff's face in that moment was priceless. She went from, "Wait, what just happened?" to, "Oh right, I'm supposed to be happy about that," in about 2 seconds. Sabalenka has also given us some great content with her complete inability to hide her emotions during matches. When she's frustrated, everyone knows it. When she's happy, everyone knows it. There's no poker face whatsoever. During a match where she was struggling with her serve, which has been a recurring issue throughout her career, she looked at her coaching box with an expression that clearly said, "What am I supposed to do about this?" Her coach just shrugged back, and the exchange was so openly helpless that it was funny. These are supposed to be elite professionals with game plans and strategies, and they're basically communicating through exasperated facial expressions. The serve struggles have actually been a source of dark humor for Sabalenka and her fans. At one point, she was double faulting so frequently that people started keeping running counts during matches. Instead of getting defensive about it, Sabalenka acknowledged it in interviews with a kind of exhausted humor. She'd make comments like, "Yeah, the serve, I know, we're working on it. What else do you want me to say?" It was the sports equivalent of, "It is what it is," and somehow that acceptance of her own chaotic serving made it less painful and more funny to watch. Gauff has had her share of technical struggles too, particularly with her forehand, which has been a weakness that opponents target. But she's addressed it with surprising humor. In one interview, she basically said, "Yeah, everyone knows my forehand is bad. I'm not pretending it's good. We're trying to fix it." That level of self-awareness and willingness to acknowledge obvious weaknesses without getting defensive is refreshing. Most players would dance around it or make excuses, but Gauff just owns it and moves on. There was also a press conference where Gauff was asked about the pressure of being seen as the future of American tennis. Her response was something like, "I mean, there are other American players too. Why is it all on me?" She wasn't being rude, just genuinely confused about why people act like she's the only young American player with potential. The fact that she pushed back on the narrative instead of just accepting the flattery was both funny and showed she's paying attention to how she's being positioned in media coverage. Sabalenka's English has also been a source of unintentional comedy. She's not a native English speaker, and sometimes her attempts to express herself in English during interviews result in phrases that are technically correct but sound absolutely bizarre. There was an interview where she was trying to describe her mental approach to tennis and said something that translated roughly to, "I am like tiger," but also sometimes like scared cat. The combination of fierce and terrified cat energy is actually a perfect description of how she plays, but the way she phrased it was so odd that it became a meme instantly. One of the best moments between these two happened during a tournament where they ran into each other in the player dining area. Someone caught a video of Sabalenka absolutely destroying a plate of pasta while Gauff watched with visible concern. Gauff apparently said something like, "Are you okay?" because Sabalenka was eating like she hadn't seen food in weeks. Sabalenka just looked up, nodded, and kept eating. The casual nature of the interaction, combined with Sabalenka's complete commitment to her meal, was oddly hilarious. These are elite athletes who are supposed to be watching their nutrition carefully, and one of them is inhaling carbs like there's no tomorrow, while the other one watches in amazement. Gauff's reactions to winning big matches are also interesting because she seems almost surprised every time. Even though she's won major titles and beaten top players, there's always this moment of genuine shock on her face when she wins, like she can't quite believe it happened. At the US Open when she won her first Grand Slam, her immediate reaction wasn't pure celebration. It was this look of disbelief, followed by covering her face with her hands like she was processing what just happened. Only after a few seconds did the celebration kick in, and even then it was relatively subdued compared to how some players react to winning majors. Compare that to Sabalenka's Australian Open win, where she immediately fell to the ground screaming and then got up and ran around the court yelling at everyone and no one at the same time. Two completely different personalities, two completely different ways of expressing joy, both entertaining in their own ways. Gauff is the controlled surprise. Sabalenka is the unhinged explosion. Both approaches are valid, and both provide great content for fans. The fashion choices these two make have also created some funny moments. Gauff tends to wear pretty standard tennis outfits that are professional and don't draw too much attention. Sabalenka, on the other hand, has shown up to matches wearing outfits that made people question whether she got dressed in the dark. There was one tournament where her outfit was such a bizarre combination of colors and patterns that commentators didn't know how to politely address it. Sabalenka seemed completely unbothered by the fashion criticism, which is honestly the right attitude. She's there to play tennis, not win fashion awards, even if some of her outfit choices suggest she might benefit from a stylist. Gauff has also had some questionable fashion moments, particularly with some of the designs she's worn for Nike. There was one outfit that was bright neon and had so many colors that it hurt to look at under the bright stadium lights. Gauff's own reaction to seeing photos of herself in that outfit later was basically, "What was I thinking?" She posted it on social media with a laughing emoji, showing she can laugh at her own fashion mistakes. Both players have given great content during rain delays too. Gauff will usually be on her phone or talking with her team, occasionally making faces at the camera when she notices it's on her. Sabalenka uses rain delays to pace around looking agitated, like the weather is personally offending her by interrupting her match. The contrast in how they handle downtime is funny because it reflects their personalities so clearly. Gauff is patient and chill. Sabalenka is ready to fight the clouds for daring to rain on her tennis match. The press conference humor these two bring is underrated. Gauff has a dry wit that catches reporters off guard sometimes. She'll answer a question with just enough sarcasm that you have to think for a second about whether she's being serious. Sabalenka is more straightforward, but her enthusiasm about everything makes even boring questions entertaining. Ask her about her serve, and you get a 5-minute answer with full body language and probably some sound effects. Ask her about what she ate for breakfast, and you get the same energy. Everything is important and exciting when Sabalenka is talking about it. One last funny contrast between them is how they handle losses. Gauff tends to be philosophical about it, talking about learning experiences and what she'll work on. It's mature and reasonable. Sabalenka looks like she wants to fight everyone in the building. She's not rude or disrespectful, but her body language in post-match press conferences after losses is just pure frustration barely contained. She'll answer questions, but you can tell she'd rather be literally anywhere else. Both approaches are honest, just very different energy. Coco Gauff and Aryna Sabalenka might be fierce competitors, but they're also two of the funniest personalities in tennis, without even trying. Whether it's Sabalenka's over-the-top celebrations or Gauff's perfectly timed reactions, these two keep tennis entertaining beyond just the matches. The sport needs more players who don't take themselves too seriously. Hit that like button and subscribe for more hilarious tennis content.